Pro Tools Crash Dummy Course.
What's going on, y'all? This is Raeshad from RaeshadBeats.com. Welcome back to another PTCDC Pro Tools Crash Dummy Course video. And today we're going to be talking about how to use our grid lines and the difference between grid and slip in Pro Tools. So basically, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a recent session. We're not going to do nothing fresh. Let's open up Practice 2021. And today we're just going to be going over how to change our grid lines and also the difference between our slip over here to the left and our grid to the right. So basically, when you're in a session and you're dealing with hooks and you're dealing with, you have let's say you have a large session and you're dealing with hooks and everything like that. The way that I keep my grid on, I make sure I stay in grid mode because grid helps me see the hooks, and if the tempo is correct, I can easily duplicate and move things over to where I needed to be. Now for slip mode is different because you can put your cursor anywhere and you'll be able to start freely from any direction. I don't recommend this just because it's not really how I record. This is not really part of my style, and I feel like it makes it a little bit harder for when it's time for you to actually fly and duplicate hooks. So I usually use grid, and whenever I use grid, you can see that the blue lines are popping up. You can see that the blue lines pop up on the grid as well. So let's look at our grid options. So we can click on this right here, our grid value, and as you can see, you have all these different notes that go from 1 bar, 1/2 note, 1/4 note, 1/8, 1/16, 132, 164, and so on and so forth. So 1 bar is good because it keeps you organized when it comes down to hooks. Say like you want to duplicate or even make stutter effects, I'd say go to 1/8 note. And as you can see, when you go to 1/8 note, you see how the grid is a lot more intricate and you see all these different grid lines. Let's go to 1/4 note. 1/4, you can see the same thing, but it's a little bit wider. So the more that you go down the notes, the more lines you will see. This is 1/16. This is 132. And this is 164, which is the highest note on the grid value. But I'd say, if I were you, make sure you just stay on grid mode and keep it on 1 bar. That way, it'll make it so much easier for you to duplicate and move audio that you really won't have to do too much besides mix. And it'll be easier for you to keep organization for your tracks. So with that being said, I just want to thank you guys again for tuning into another PTCDC Pro Tools Crash Dummy course video. Be on the lookout for more tutorials just like this one. We're going to continue to break Pro Tools down step by step, bit by bit, piece by piece. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Raeshad Beats out. Peace.
Raeshad.